Hi friends, welcome back. I am Wicked Crafty Mom, also April, and this video was a long time coming, but I'm pretty excited about it. If you're in my group, I came up with this the day that I wrote in the group. I think I just invented something. So I have several envelopes here that I've made over the course of today and the day I actually thought of the thing. I have not seen or heard of this technique elsewhere on the internet. Doesn't mean that it's not there, but I have not heard of or seen it. So, I asked myself, what would happen if I took the envelopes, you know, you get junk mail envelopes, if I took them and I just took the plastic out to change the envelope. And then I thought, well, what would I put there instead? And then I decided lace sounded like a good idea. So I do have this. I'm going to show you how we can use it later on. So these are some examples. And again, these are things that I came up with and just started immediately trying to figure out how to make it work. So these envelopes are made out of book pages, and this is just a thing I made to show you. You can definitely see through it. It's not glued together yet or sewn together yet, so you can see how it was made. So you can see, but you can see what it's like with something in it too, and I think that's super cute. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure that I show you in shot. This is one also that I made, and it's not sewn, but it's got some really sheer fabric in the window with some, I don't know if you can see the design on it, but it's a very faint design. It looks like a topographical map, pretty much. So there's that, and again, I could sew the sides or glue the sides. This is a small one I made with gauze. Maybe you use it like it's a specimen holder. But you can, and that's another thing you can do. You can do this with slides, and instead of using acetate in between the slide pieces, you use fabric or lace. So this is another one I made. This one I used vellum, and I did glue this one, but you can definitely still see through the pocket. So the things that I'm sticking in the pockets here are altered playing cards that I made using some scraps, and I sat down and I made a ton. I'm going to knock another basket down trying to get this thing. I hope I don't. I didn't. But I made a ton of clusters. And then I played with them. So I definitely will be doing stuff, and you'll be seeing the clusters and a lot of things. So this one I took, this is a book page that I painted white. And then this is a page that I colored from my coloring books, and this is a doily, and this is all stitched up, so it's ready to go. But I think this is super cute. And then there's this one, which is also sealed up and ready to go. I may still punch one of those little, yeah, why not? I'll do it right now, just because I didn't earlier. Let's see, little cutout there, and then I'll take my anchor and just fix it. Okay, so, sorry. Anyway, this is just pink fabric that I put in here in case you had, let's say all you have at home is these envelopes, then, or you don't want, or that's what you want to use, and you don't want to use paper to make envelopes, then you can just pull the plastic out and do this. You could stamp on this fabric. You could throw clusters on this fabric. put wording. These clusters are going to come in so handy. So handy. And this one, because for some reason I'm addicted to weaving paper strips. You've seen it several times, but also because I wanted some doable solutions that are using techniques that we've done before. So in this one, I just weaved it right onto the paper and glued it as I went. And then I stitched around it. And it's not together yet. So the envelope part is super easy. I'm shaking the table so bad. I'm super sorry. The envelope part is super easy to replicate. And so what I did was I just took some cardboard and I cut them into the shapes of envelopes envelope shapes that I would want. No, not envelope shapes, window shapes. So I could put windows in these full page book sheets. Okay. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one as soon as I found my scissors. Yep, of course I did. They're right there. All right. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to use it just like it is for right now. And later, if I want to, I can go ahead and add stuff to it or whatever. But I used stencils to dye this and it came out pretty neat. So I really like the back like that. So I'm just going to take the acetate off of this. That might take me a little bit. I could actually go ahead and just cut it out around. Whoop. Or rip it all apart. Apparently I'm going with rip it all apart. Shred it. So, meh. And the other thing you can put in this hole is just another piece of paper. That's kind of what I did with the vellum, except, you know, it's a sheer paper. Okay. So, because this particular hole is so big, I am not going to try to use one of the smaller things. Like, I've got another method that I could use, but there's not a whole lot to this other than the hole where the window used to be. So there's not a lot of structure. So what I'm gonna do is use, I have plans. I'm gonna use this particular piece that I pulled out, and I'm just gonna cut it so that it's big enough. Now this is probably this. So I got this bundle from my Goodwill when I went one time, and it had a bunch of pieces of different lace patterned cloth. So like pieces of curtains and like several different kinds of pieces of curtain, like, you know, pieces of just flat out lace. Yeah, there's my folding method. So I got these awesome like goodie bags with just different scraps of, oh, I cut that pretty much too short, so that's cool. Yeah, so I just got this like grab bag of stuff, and it was only a couple bucks, maybe $3, and I was super stoked. So Okay, so now I'm going to grab my Beacon 3-in-1, and here is an awesome, awesome thing. I can't remember if it made it into a video. These tips come on some bottles that I found at my, oops, my local Joann's. Oh, that's awesome. So I found them at my local Joann's and pulled the tip off of those little, it's like a 4-pack, and they each has a bunch of different colored beads on the top of the needles that go on the top. Anyway, so I popped the little top off this little metal thing, and I screwed it onto here, and it works really well, and it gives me a really fine line. I haven't actually tried to see how fine the line is on the regular bottle. And at some point maybe I should, but I'm not gonna right now. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna close it right now because the thingy just popped off. So, Beacon 3-in-1. And, alright. I've been crafting again for the last couple days. I hadn't been. I was depressed, and not crafting was making me more depressed. It's a tricky cycle there. And, so over the last couple days I've started to craft again, and it's felt very nice. Like, I always feel like something's missing in my soul when I'm not crafting, but at the same time, like, I just was not in a good place. I'm better now. But I think definitely if you need to take a break for your mental health of whatever, then definitely do it. I took a bit of a Facebook break. Kind of just spent one day just like in my head zoning out the whole time. And that's always a pleasant trip. So there was that. I even, you guys, stopped watching junk journal videos for a few days, which was like, I think was also part of my problem. I think I should have maybe continued to do something, either craft or watch videos or something, because I don't think it was good for me that I wasn't doing that. So I'm really now a bit nervous about, like, let's see, right now I'm just trying to glue my bead back on, but I don't know where it went, so I don't think I can. Oh, there it is. Shoot. And watch as wicked crafty mom shoots the top tip of her pin across the room. Yeah, so I'm trying to put this pin head back on. All right, using the glue of the, oh, nope, didn't work. Okay, cool. Cool. Figure that out later, I guess. All right. So now that I've pulled this apart, it's not a big deal. You go away. You're in timeout. Okay. So I pulled this apart, and now I can just be done. I can, remember how we edged the sides of the book we bound, that when we were putting the covers together, I don't know why I'm not just doing it, why I'm trying to explain it. That's silly. All right, let's see. So, about that long. Cut it in half. All right, fold it in half. My hands are so gluey. I've been playing with glue today. I've been sewing today. So today is not Phoebe's day to have run of the house. So Ozzy has the run of the house. And the run of Ozzy having the run of the house means he stays in the living room, and that he doesn't venture out. The buns don't particularly like to be off the carpeted space in the living room, except for our explorer bun, Phoebe. So, yeah, so Ozzy stays in the living room, and the reason that that's relevant is because I can leave the pedal on my sewing machine down all day without having to try to remember to pick it up so that Phoebe doesn't eat it. Because they chew on vine-like things. Silly bunnies. So, and then I can just decorate this however I want on top of that. But the real, I'm going to finish gluing the sides, but the real thing was I wanted to show you how you could use an envelope that you get in the mail. And the next thing I'm going to do is show you, and I am still recording, so that's cool, is show you how to make an envelope, cut out the hole, etc., etc. But also some different options, I hope. Okay. So now I can cover this however I want, if I want. Being a little persnickety there. But I really do dig the patterns on this, so I may or may not. I might just do something at the top because that's kind of raggedy looking. And I like raggedy, but I like to do it myself. So, okay. Now, I have a book page. I'm doing this a different way this time than I've done it recently. So, here's that. And then I'm gonna fold. So I'm folding the top first because I see how big I want the flap to be. I don't know why that's so important to me right now, but this part is it just is. Okay, so now I've got room here so I can put something in it. So it's not directly up to the fold. And I've got my fold figured out. I'm going to flatten it out. Smush. And my family are all in the other room playing video games together. All of them. So Dad's playing with them. So they're not getting super rowdy or anything. But if you hear noises, it's them. It's my boys. They're playing. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this one is just actually, what do I want to do? Yeah, so I am going to, so I'm taking note of this because with this flappy here, I want this line between here and here to be the frame. So the way I'm centering it is I'm just using where this flap ends to this crease. And so, because that's the part that I'm going to see of this front flap. I think that makes sense. Here's hoping. So, I'm going to center it, yeah, like that. That looks good. It doesn't need to be a big flap, or a big, I can't talk today. Here, I'll do this. It doesn't need to be a huge window, but it doesn't need to be a tiny window. All right. So I'm sorry if I'm shaking the table, and I'm sorry if the camera's wobbly. I changed things around again. Like I'm trying to figure out the best way to use the camera that's not going to wobble everything. Our table also is just wobbly. I need to fix that too. So I don't know if you saw what I did, but I just kind of continued. I let the line continue, and then I slid it over to the other edge where I wanted it. So it's about the same distance from this edge. That's what I did. Okay. Now, I knew I was looking for something. All right, so this blade sucks. It's broken, I'm pretty sure, but I just need to get my scissors in here. I could use a different blade. I could put a new blade in. That would be, you know, something. But that is a thing I could do. I just haven't done it yet. And cut it out that way, but I just prefer using the scissors. I don't know why. I feel like my hand is steadier with the scissors, so I guess I do know why. All right. They're not, though. Like, my hands are not steadier with the scissors. It just feels better. I always worry my blade is going to slip. I don't worry as much about the scissors. Like, I feel like I have more control with them. Because I'm a weirdo. Okay. I have a scrap thing over here now. Alright. So, I am taking this piece of cloth. And this piece of cloth is from the dollar store. It is a tea towel for $1. And I really dig. See, remember last time when I tried to measure it and I didn't do so well? So basically, I'm just going to cut it here, and that'll give extra room, plenty of room. And I'm going to cut the binding off the tea towel, and I am just going to call that good because I don't want to fuss around with it too much, but I also don't want to measure. There, so as long as it covers the hole, it's fine. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna stamp. Yes, I am absolutely gonna stamp this fabric. So I've got my Distress ink from Tim Holtz. This is not part of the label. This is just something I stuck on there to catch my ink and show me what color ink I have. Again, because I'm a weirdo. Can't waste my ink. I can't waste my ink. Okay, so the stamping thing, not so much on this. But it got some. So we'll call that good. And I'm just cutting this little, there, okay. And I'm gonna take my Beacon 3-in-1 again. Right around the edge. So yeah, I was in a funk. Wasn't crafting, wasn't doing a whole lot. I mean, like, I was functioning, but on a pretty low level. Okay. Now I'm just going to trim some of this because I want to. Now that it's all secured down there. And then I'm going to do a little bit extra here at the top because when stuff, because I don't want stuff to catch on this. See? When I'm putting stuff in it. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to trim. And then I'm going to glue down better at the edge there. Probably not the, like, slickest way to do it, but it's a way. Gets it done. Alright, so just gluing down the edge. Still gluing down the edge. Alright. Now I'm gluing down the rest of the edge. This stuff is a pain in the patootie to squeeze out of this little tip, but it is pretty cool that it works that way. And it does, it's a nice little bead. So I just need to figure out how to cap it. All right. And then there's that. Buggers. Know what I totally meant to do? And I like even told myself to do it. Should have done this before. If you ink the edges, it's easier to do it before you put the cloth in, which I figured out, and then I unfigured out. I get so anxious about making these videos, but like I do have fun doing it, so don't worry about that, but like they make me anxious. So anyway, that's why there was a lull. That's why you haven't seen or heard from me. You ever have days where you feel like you want to just roll up in a ball like an armadillo and just like be by yourself? I had one of those days. So I did. I armadilloed, hung out, did my thing, and now I'm back. You poor, poor people. Okay. There. And now we have, oops, not punched a hole in the middle like you should do before you glue it, silly goose. I am like forgetting things that I was trying specifically to remember to do, which is probably why I'm forgetting them. And then I glued it sideways. It's a sideways envelope. Okay, so we just made this out of a book page. I just took something, measured around it, moved it as I needed to. I used the card actually. Moved it as I needed to. There, and look, you can still see through this if it's something, you know, with some contrast. You can see through that. So, I don't know where we're at time-wise. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Okay. So I can make some more because I have more ideas. You could, like... Why don't I just do this? Here, I'll do it with this one. Where? This is a good one. This is going to be a good one, I think. Let's see. How wide are you? So, I could do 2. Not sure I love that, though. Thinking I could absolutely, oh, yes. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I move up, make sure you can see. I am going to, whoops, throw stuff around. Okay. I got ideas while I was trying to figure that out, and I really like them. Okay. I'm going to use this wretched thing. There we go. I am making a different kind of envelope this time. First things first though, cut the hole. Hey, it's much easier to not have to cut the corners like this. And also, this is like super thin paper. So I guess I would say maybe don't use super thin paper if you're going to have a window that is so big in proportion to its supports. All right. So I gotta make sure I am on screen. Okay. So the thing I thought when I was thinking was, I don't know if that's gonna work. I was thinking I could do, so here's what I'm thinking, friends, and I might be able to make it work differently than I thought. I wanted to make little pockets in the window with the ribbon to stick things in. And I think that's a good idea. Like we can put little bitty tags in it or something. Okay. So, I don't remember where I got this ribbon. I believe, I have no idea. I definitely know I have no idea. Okay. So the front of the pocket's going to look like this. And I'm saying that because I'm telling myself that because I've got this penciling in here. All right. Let's see. If I glue this down, it'll be glued to 3 sides. But I don't want, like I kind of want a different pocket for each thing. And I don't know if that's going to work at all. I don't think it will. You know what? This will work. This is totally fine. I'm just going to, I think I'm onto something, but I think I'm also playing around, not really knowing what I'm doing to make it happen. So I think maybe I will do a follow-up video at some point or whatever, but that this is, come here, you, stay put, you, stay, ribbon, stay put. Okay. All right, are you down? You're down. Okay, cool. Stay down. All right. So I'm not going to say like I'm definitely out of my funk, but I will say I'm definitely working my way out of my funk with your assistance. The people in my group have been amazing and they're still posting and stuff. And like I said, I took a break from social media. So it wasn't a long one. It was just a couple days, few days, but it was enough. I think just too many things caught up with me. All right. So this ribbon stuff is a pain in the butt for gluing. But this 3-in-1 stuff is pretty good at gluing. You just have to kind of keep fiddling with it for a minute. All right. So, oh, my fingers are stuck. Magnificent. All right, so basically if I can make little tuck spots once I look at it on the front, then I definitely will do that. If I can't, I won't. I'm thinking about going and sewing around it. And I'm still filming, so I'm going to pause it because I think I'm going to go sew around it. Okay, friends, I am back. I forgot all about my squeaky chair. So sorry, guys. All right. I should have folded this first. So I realized a couple things. Just in case anybody wants to know that I learned something this trip to the sewing machine. And the first thing I learned was that this material and this fabric are both very thin, and it made it a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be to maneuver. So like corners, those were tricky. Not the corners, I can do corners no problem. It's the fact that it was rounded corners and not just sharp corners. So I'm sure my mother has already told me how to, you know, not have that happen. But, well, you know, using sturdier stuff will do that, I guess. All right, so I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to use this stuff because, let's see, first, dilemma, guys. I'm having issues today. All right. Issue number one. I seem to be having glue issues all over the place. All right. Unclogging. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Yay. Yay, glue. Okay, and now all right, let's see. There's that. And yay. Let's all be glued down. Okay, cool. Now, okay. Now, I'm just going to trim this because I'm ridiculous. And I just wanted it to look nicer. All right, so now I've got this envelope that I just made up. Let's get the stitching around it. Let's see. Let's see if we can use... Here, oops. Here, let's use this. Oh, that's too big. Let's try this. All right, can I? Yes, I can do that. And I can do this. Okay, so I would say that that is successful because you can see through it. You can put stuff in it. I'm digging it. Two little cute tags would be great there. Okay. Where are we at time-wise? I'm super excited about this. I'm way off center. And I don't know how that happened. Whoa. Okay. Well. Not really sure what happened. Sorry you were so far over. And let's see if I can fix this. All right, well, I am, yeah, I'm probably just going to cut the end a little bit, and I think I'm going to be done. So if you like what you saw, despite my technical difficulties, please subscribe, like, and share. You can find me in my Facebook group and at Wicked Crafty Mom on Facebook. And I'm really sorry. I hope you weren't like, I hope it wasn't too bad. is what I'm getting to. Thank you. Have a good day.